Okay, so welcome everybody to Australian Hypnosis Conference. Today I'm here with Kerre, and she's going to be talking about, I've got to get this right, unlocking the secrets of sleep talk success 50 years on. So this is an amazing topic, but before we go into that, I want to say thank you to Fabian Wesselink. He is our major sponsor for Australian Hypnosis Conference with Hypno Breathwork. So, Kerre, tell us about the Sleep Talk Success. Give us a little bit of insight, how you got into it, and why do people want to come and hear you talk about this? Because I know it's awesome. I already know it's awesome.
Well, thanks, Trish. Look, I've been kind of blessed. Many, many years ago, I ran aquatic centres. So I've worked with families and children for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And I come across the sleep talk process. I would have to say on my fifth child.
Oh.
My other four boys had grown up, but I come across the sleep talk process and then sought out the creator,
Hmm.
who was a hypnotherapist down
Hmm.
in Melbourne, and just was so touched by what an amazing process, how easy it is for parents to
Yeah, because we need to
utilize.
help the little ones.
And it's I looked at it as one of the best kept secrets in the world for parents. I think every parent should be armed with the sleep talk process.
Hmm.
However, I started utilizing it on my son. He was a happy-go-lucky 6-year-old, didn't have a care in the world. But the differences I saw from this program, the resilience he got, the way that he just seemed more grounded than my other children, I
No.
was just sold. And so I became a consultant, and then
Hmm.
I became a trainer.
Hmm.
And then the creator actually sold the business to me when she retired. And
Wow.
I've just gone from strength to strength. It feels like it works so well. I was so lucky to see the results. Now,
Hmm.
of course, my baby now is in his 20s. He's a young man. But again, I see so many qualities that I contribute to the sleep talk process.
Mm.
And it has been around for 50 years, which is just mind-blowing when we think about the thousands and thousands of families that we've helped all over the world. And
Hmm.
yet, even here, it was created in Australia and it's still a big secret. A lot
I
of people
didn't
don't
know
know.
anything about it until maybe 8, 9 years ago, and it was a stumble. Like I stumbled across a book, and then I was like, "What? What? Why isn't this a thing? Like this needs to be taught when parents are going to kindergarten, and dropping off their kids, or even during the birthing phase with." Being a birth doula and stuff like that. Like, this is how you can help your child and connect with them better for yourself and them. Like, what?
Well, we certainly live in a world now that like everybody that's listening would know somebody that's struggling with their kids, and it could be,
Yes.
it could be anxiety, it could be challenges with development, social challenges. I mean, there's a lot of challenges out there, childhood challenges that parents are a little bit, I guess, stressed about, a bit anxious themselves about. And of course, the sleep talk process just is so efficient and so gentle and so,
Mm. Oh,
you
it's
know,
gorgeous.
yeah, it doesn't invade. It's certainly there's no medication involved, and it's just a way that parents can rebuild connections and really get
Mm.
their children to be thriving.
And we're
So,
from we're from a different era these days as well, because like we weren't born with mobile phones in our hands. So when a child is going through like cyberbullying, we just go turn it off. But it's so much more than that, because for the child, that's connection, that is life, that is resources, and we struggle with that. So I think the sleep talk process is even great to help alleviate those things that we don't quite understand as parents.
well, certainly I know when I started it with my last son, it was just, I thought, oh, it'll just make him feel that little bit happier. It's just a beautiful way, it's a beautiful process to
Mhm.
utilize. And what I come to understand, Trish,
Mm.
is we, even in his 20s now, we have a bond now that I don't have with my other children. And I hate to
Oh.
say that. It's just he lives overseas, he still rings me. And I think that just makes me so passionate that I say to parents, you're right, everybody should know about this,
Mhm.
everybody should be utilizing it. but I'm going to be talking about how it's 50 years old and the development that's happened over that 50 years with when it was originally started to how professionals can use it as a modality now and
Oh,
just
yes.
another feather in their cap.
Yeah.
It opens up a whole new, I guess you could say, a whole new market, and that is, families that are struggling, parents
Mhm.
that are not sure what to do. Well, it's just a great process for, and the more people that find out about it, the
Mm.
happier I am because
Oh, absolutely.
I say the world needs sleep talk now more than ever.
And it's not just for kids, it's really not, because when I learnt it, I used it with my partner. And because he would go through stages where he was stressed and he'd, like he doesn't express stress very often, he bottles it up, sort of thing. But then he would be expressing this stress that had gotten too much, and I'd ask him, "Hey, what's going on? How do we shift this, etc., etc." But as you know, your partner is always the one that you don't want to worry too much. So I started using it on him, and the results were phenomenal. So it wasn't just for kids, it was for adults, like connecting with your loved one. And people have said, like you'll even see it at the conference, people have said the connection between you and John is something next level. And I'm like, got a feeling that might be to do with sleep talk, to be honest.
Well, we have had like over 50 years, I'll speak about this. We have had a lovely consultant use sleep talk on his mother, who was actually in palliative care and
Yeah.
not doing very well. And one of
Hmm.
the things that he asked us, he said, "Do you think we could use sleep talk on mum?" And
Hmm.
we went, "Why not?"
Why
We do
not?
say it's for children from 2 to 16, but again, you're right. He did go ahead and he utilized that. And I remember reading a beautiful letter that he sent us to say that the last weeks of his mum's life, she settled down.
Mm.
She just felt more grounded. And that in myself was absolutely beautiful. But he thanked us because he said it was the nicest way for her to move
In,
on. And it
yeah.
was just getting rid of that anxiousness, getting rid of the confusion. She just basically passed very peacefully. Now,
Mm.
many would argue that yes, we could use hypnotherapy and NLP to do exactly the same thing. But again, this
This,
is something that we can bypass the conscious mind.
yes.
We can really just be working with the subconscious, which makes it just so beautiful to go in at those
And it's
deep.
so much more gentle, when you've got those people that are in those vulnerable states as well.
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
and I think the biggest challenge that we had as marketers when we talk, oh, you've got a pussycat in the
Yeah,
back.
that's Lady May May. She'll come around onto the desk any minute and go, "I want kisses."
Well, the best part about the sleep talk, or the hardest part for many people, is how I encourage people to specialize in certain areas
Mm.
because the gamut from parents who just want their children, like myself, to be more happy and settled, to children. I've worked with families that they're about to lose the children. They're about to be taken away from these anger outbursts, I call them the alphabet kids, they're
Mm.
ODD or OCD or ADHD. I mean,
Mm.
they're
ABC.
always alphabets. There is always coming up
Hmm.
with new ones. But these are children who just uncontrollable anger, uncontrollable rage,
Hmm.
and completely out of control. And sleep talk, again, um, just dissipates this. And when we're talking about children on the spectrum, very much like the creator started the sleep talk process all those years ago because her daughter was on the
Yes.
spectrum and had absolutely no future. She was actually
Yeah,
told
because she was mute. Was that right?
that's right, and that
Yes.
she would probably be institutionalized. I'm
Mm.
pleased to say now, interesting enough, that the same, I mean, Michelle, her name was, and when her mum and dad started the sleep talk process all those years ago,
Hmm.
um, they just wanted her to be happier with her
Yeah.
life.
Apparently, she makes a really mean bacon and eggs. Is it
She
bacon and eggs?
does. She has her
Yeah.
own house. She's still
Yeah.
in her own house.
And she holds down a
She has
job as
traveled.
well. Yep.
Yes, so she's had a wonderful life. Now, of course, that we haven't cured her with sleep talk, but we have certainly made her life a lot easier.
Made her resourceful.
That's what's happened to all these thousands of parents that we've worked with over the years.
Hmm.
But children have changed, parenting has changed. There's more parenting trends ever.
Yep.
So again, I'm really excited to share with people who probably already know a little bit about Sleep Talk, just how it's developed and how we've moved it on.
Yeah.
How we've
Yeah.
really brought it into the 21st century. And I get quite excited about it because who knows where it's going to go from here.
Honestly, I think it just needs to explode. And with Australian Hypnosis Conference, we're going to help you work with people and get your name out there more because it needs it. We need more. We need more people helping our little ones to create amazingly resourceful people in the future. Because can you imagine what the future is going to be like when we have these kids growing up that are grounded, that are resourceful, that aren't getting these sparks of anger every single second of the day anymore, and how much more peaceful we're all just going to feel. But
Well,
that's great.
I often say to parents, there is such a thing as parental bliss. Well, you don't believe it, but there is. And there's also, I'm very strong in telling parents that dysfunction is not the norm. It's funny how the word dysfunctional family has come into for people to be accepting it and thinking, oh yes, I'm a dysfunctional mother. No, it's
No.
just we don't have that village around us that people used to have many
Yeah, the
centuries ago
support
or
system.
decades ago. They don't have the support system. So many parents, even, they're floundering. They don't know what to do.
Mm.
And of course, then we lose confidence and then we listen to all the parenting experts. And it's almost like you're running around after the new shiny object.
Yeah, the white knight syndrome.
The sleep talk process, when we teach the parents, and this is what the professionals do, we teach the parents how to empower themselves and get their confidence back,
Yeah,
and how that changes the whole family dynamic.
yeah,
So
love it.
but you are right. When we talk about adults, another best kept secret about sleep talk is when a mum and dad start to utilize it on their children. They're working, their subconscious is listening. So mum and dad also start to feel more balanced and more relaxed. But you don't tell the parent that
Yeah, don't
straight.
tell them that because
No, because it's
that's like
not their
me.
problem.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's like
always the problem's always the child.
yes, yes, that's like telling me I do exercise. I don't exercise. Are you kidding me? But I play soccer. Let's go. So
Yes,
let's use your imagination for just a moment. Are you open to that?
absolutely.
All right, so here we go. So let's imagine you inherit a mysterious old bookstore. One day you discover a secret door behind a bookshelf that leads to a magical library where the books come alive and start to tell you tales of mystery. One particular magical book wants to know what is your story and what is the magical title it would be.
Whoa, okay. Look, I many years ago discovered that I'm here on Earth because I'm to share my experiences. And my experiences basically, I love telling people. I'm a storyteller, so I have many stories. So that's very relevant. My title would have to be Kerre's roller coaster ride. I've had ups, I've had downs. Actually, we'll add to that. We'll make it Kerre's mystical roller coaster ride,
Mm.
um, because I have people look at me and look sideways and say, "You can't possibly have done that all in this time." And it's yes, I have.
Yep,
I've
I got that.
pretty much done it all. But maybe that could be a movie and somebody, or maybe a trilogy, stretch it out a bit.
To be continued.
Yes. And I think it's also great that people, when you're down, when people get depressed, I work with parents all the time that are down, they don't understand that it's temporary.
Yeah,
You'll come out of it. You don't
yeah,
think you will, but you'll come out of it. And then when you look back on life, you'll think, oh, that was a really valuable lesson. That's what I
yeah.
needed. So
Love it.
yes,
Love it.
mystery for sure.
Mystery, love it. The mystery roller coaster, like that, like that. So thank you everybody for joining in on this video. You can tap on the link, grab your tickets to Australian Hypnosis Conference, and you can read more on Kerre's website as well, because you've got to help the little ones and connect more for sure. So thank you everybody for joining in, and we'll see you all in the future. Bye bye.